Right now, my mind feels like a maze I can't escape from, full of twists and turns that only lead to confusion. The more I try to find a way out, the more I feel lost in it. I'm standing at the edge of myself, unsure of which direction to take, each step feeling heavier than the last. My thoughts swirl like a storm, and it feels impossible to find peace. The silence in my mind speaks louder than words. It's not comforting, it's overwhelming, and I find myself struggling to find clarity amidst the chaos. Sometimes I feel like I'm drowning in my own thoughts, trying to breathe while the weight of them presses down on me. But no matter how hard I try, I can't escape. There are days when my mind is my greatest enemy, filled with worries and doubts that seem to multiply without reason. It's a battle I can't seem to win. The hardest part of feeling mentally unstable is not knowing where the path leads. You take each step with hesitation, unsure if it will bring relief or more confusion. I try to make sense of my emotions, but they slip through my fingers like sand, leaving me wondering why I can't hold on to anything for long enough to find peace. Every thought feels like a ripple in a vast ocean of uncertainty, pulling me further into a place I don't want to be. It's a struggle to stay afloat. In the quiet of my mind, there's a storm that never seems to pass. I long for calm, but it feels like a distant dream I can never quite reach. I wish I could find the words to explain the heaviness in my chest, the weight of emotions that don't have a name but still consume me every day. My thoughts are like an unfinished puzzle, pieces scattered everywhere, and no matter how hard I try, I can't seem to fit them all together. Some days feel like a constant battle to stay present, to ground myself in reality when everything inside me feels out of control. It's as though my mind is 1,000 miles ahead of me, racing toward something unknown, leaving me in the dust, struggling to catch up. I'm stuck between wanting to run away from myself and desperately needing to find a way back to who I once was. There are moments when I feel like I'm standing on the edge of something, but I don't know if it's a cliff or a new beginning. My thoughts don't follow a clear path. They zigzag and twist, leading me into places I didn't ask to go, and I wonder if I'll ever find my way out. I try to hold on to stability, but the more I grasp at it, the more it slips through my fingers like water running through my hands. Sometimes it feels like my mind is a battlefield, and I'm the soldier trying to hold my ground, but I don't always know who or what I'm fighting against. There are days when I feel trapped in my own mind, unable to escape the thoughts that circle around, like vultures waiting for something to break. It's not easy to explain what it's like, when you feel mentally unstable. It's as though your own mind becomes a foreign place, a place you don't recognize anymore. My emotions are like a roller coaster, soaring to heights I never expected, only to crash down into a valley of uncertainty, and I can never predict the next loop. I've learned that sometimes the hardest thing is not letting go of the past, but learning to make peace with the present when it feels like nothing is certain. Every day feels like a new puzzle, each piece representing a different emotion or thought, and I'm just trying to figure out how they all fit together. The silence in my mind isn't peaceful, it's loud, deafening, filled with questions and uncertainties I don't know how to answer. I wish I could turn off the noise inside my head, even for just a moment, to find a quiet space where I can just breathe. Sometimes it feels like my thoughts are running in circles, each one chasing the other with no end in sight. And I wonder if there's any way to break the cycle. My mind has become a landscape I don't recognize, full of shadows and shifting patterns, and I don't know how to find the light again. I've learned that feeling mentally unstable isn't a weakness, but a reminder that I'm human, vulnerable, imperfect, and trying to navigate a world that doesn't always make sense. I often feel like I'm on the edge of something, but I can't tell if it's a breakthrough or a breakdown waiting to happen. It's hard to explain how exhausting it is to constantly fight against my own thoughts. It feels like an endless battle where I'm not even sure who the enemy is. My thoughts are like an unruly garden, wild and overgrown, and no matter how much I try to tend to them, they continue to spiral out of control. I find myself standing at a crossroads, unsure of where to turn. My mind pulls me in different directions, but none of them feel right. There are times when I feel disconnected from myself, like I'm watching my life from the outside, unable to find a way back inside.